Ờ.
Vừa đâu.
Or, oops. Yeah.
violin. You was on
Protected me. My parents
the.
protected me. So yeah, and I danced for 18 years formally too. But yeah, playing I wanted to fuse both of my worlds at the time when I brought my violin into the gym, and that
Mhm.
time I was really heavily competing. So I was already in the atmosphere of the gym half the day and then violin the other half of the day. So we brought it together, and that is what you saw and that is
Okay.
what you witnessed at the time.
And so, how I kind of got introduced to you was through Bob Baldwin, but I'm a smooth jazz artist. So, the first selection was it smooth? Was that
Hmm.
the first? Yeah. So that's kind of how but I know that,
Oh yeah, I remember. I
yeah,
remember.
I know that smooth jazz, all different. It's influenced by different types of music. Because some people ask me, well, what's the difference between smooth jazz? And sometimes they put all these labels, fusion and all
Hmm.
different kind of labels on the jazz. And I said, well, I don't have all time to, go through which type this is. I just say
Yeah.
smooth jazz or contemporary,
Right.
the term I usually use, but some people want to categorize it, and things like that. And another question about the influence of, in church and, you did you get to, is that where you started from, or did you start classical music and then, or have you ever played classical or?
Yes, I actually started playing piano first.
Mhm,
As far as instrumental, I
mhm,
actually started singing before I started piano. So it started with singing. I was singing at the age of 2, and then at 3, I started playing piano formally. My mother taught me. She's a professional pianist, so she taught
mhm,
me at age 5, and I was performing at age 5 as well. So it was just I've always loved being on the stage and love performing. And so from there, I got into violin a little later, kind of found me and slapped me on the face, like, this is what we're doing. And I said, okay, cool. And so violin has been with me since, I mean, it's just one of those things like we've grown together. I've been playing for almost 28 years. I've actually been in the business for almost 14 years. So that's why I asked you,
mhm.
where did you get that bio? So
You know what? Maybe you should look. Maybe that date is a little outdated though.
yeah, yeah. But
But I
anyhow,
figured, I figured that was about right because I said, well, she's probably about 25, somewhere like that. Yeah.
yes, I've been playing the violin for almost 28 years. I'm 23. I just
Mhm.
turned 23.
Okay.
And
Uh-huh. I knew you wasn't older than that. I don't
First
know. I was
eight.
like, hold on, how she gonna play this?
but I've
I
been
just
playing
threw it
for
out there.
28,
I just,
28 years. I
okay.
was playing cosmically. I wasn't even a human
Uh-huh.
yet. I was just playing.
Oh,
So
okay. Uh, okay. Well, I'm going to give you a little break because I don't want you to go back and Professor had me talking all the time and all. I
oh no,
said,
I'm
no, I'm
good.
just joking. But Trey, uh,
What's going on?
how you doing?
I can't complain. How are
So
you?
I was over here. You said you had been here before.
Yeah, I was. It was called the Sprint Center. Me and Mr. Walker was talking about
Oh,
that. That was the last time I was in KC on the Anita Baker farewell tour. So that's where we played.
okay. See, I missed. Oh, okay.
Yeah,
All
that
right.
KC know how to party. So that was a good time.
Yeah. So, how you? I know a lot of the artists were telling me that, man, I can't wait to get on the road and I got time for interviews now. Because of this. Man, it's been a tough year for the even music industry, and we even had some shows that had to be canceled
Right.
because we have our gym theater. And I think through the Negro Baseball League, they have schedule um, performances. I think the last one I saw was Nick Coleon, and that was it had to be near March or April or something like that. Last
Right.
when it was
Cancellation
canceled.
all over the place. Right.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what about that sex therapy? That's
Oh
a
yeah.
nice shirt there.
So, man, it's something I started. It's about a year into it, but I mean, it's crazy. You mentioned everything going on in 2020. From Kobe Bryant to Tommy Lister. Civil rights advocacy from, I mean, protests and coronavirus, elections, all that stuff. So I think it was really important that we kind of checked on each other mentally, because a lot of people, will ask, well, how are you doing? Well, I'm all right, but there's a mental pressure that, we, especially as African Americans, have been put on this year. So sex therapy was kind of grown this year. It's basically a concept that taps into the mental and musical part of kind of just transcendence, right? It's an energy behind the music that we play. And my goal as a musician, and I know Brooke can speak on this, is to touch as many lives as possible through our music, to heal and to help and to be transparent as people, and then through our music. So it's just a movement that encourages people to, make sure you pay attention to all aspects of yourself. And the mental is really important. And music and mental go hand in hand. So that's sex therapy in a nutshell.
Well, I'd like to say I'm so glad to see young artists and playing, jazz, because, I know it kind of was smooth jazz. A lot of the radio stations were dropping it, and it was kind of, almost, people were turning to other things.
Right.
So I'm glad to see that, we have, so many young people who are, playing
And,
smooth
and
jazz.
we appreciate, the platforms such as KUAW, for keeping our music alive and allowing us to tell our stories. So we wouldn't be here without you guys. So thank you.
Well, thank you guys for continuing, because that's it. And when I was reading your little bio and you were talking about all the different genres that are influenced, that's one reason why I like smooth jazz so much, because if on a Sunday I can play jazz artists who have gospel selections,
Right.
and both of you guys do have, and so Wednesday nights, sometimes I'll mix that in, because
It's
people,
limited. Right.
churches are, kind of closed for, beside the, viral, but any and hip hop. I even did a hip hop, smooth jazz. They even had artists that were rapping on on their music. So any kind of music, and even with R&B, a lot of the R&B singers are featured artists on a lot of the jazz artists. So I don't care what kind of music you
Still
listen
good
to,
music at
you
that
can
point.
find it,
Still.
within the jazz genre selections.
Absolutely. And I mean, like I said, I think that's the beauty of what we do. We're so inspired, like you said, by R&B, hip hop. I've been in Atlanta, and it's got so many flavors from the culture of Atlanta. And it's just cool to put that unapologetically into music and it be received. So that's definitely the beauty of what we do.
So you know what? I gotta get you on my email list, because I sent out my playlist, and and sometimes bro, I said, sometimes I do send out stories, right?
Yes, I know you do. I get all your emails, Ricky, and I'm like, what are you saying today? You just be sharing all kinds of stuff, and I'm like, okay, this is cool. I'm gonna email you back too. And I'm gonna say,
But I even know what.
I said, no, you're gonna. I'm gonna email you back and say thanks for keeping me in the loop. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna have to give you my email here, and it's just my last name, first name. at yahoo.com. And so we can put you on that list because I got another funny story before Christmas time. I know I got
it. All these stories.
Your story.
You take the time to share them, and I appreciate that. You take the time to write it all out. So good.
So yeah, and Trey, there's this thing going around that I'm bad and all this kind of stuff. And one, Michelle Chase with GoBro, right? So she was talking about I was a mischievous child. That's what she said. So I told her I have to look that word up. Because on my this last playlist I had, there was this song, "Say It One More Time," and I'm trying to remember. I can't remember who that artist was. I think it was called the Sex Appeal. I think it was. So anyway, I said, "Oh, I remember that term because when I was asking my mom to go somewhere, and she already told me no, I'm gonna keep bugging her, thinking she's gonna change her mind, and I wait till she get on the phone." And then I start hoping she say, "Go, boy, go. Just leave me alone." I'm thinking, okay, that means I can go. But you tell me, you say that one more time, and then I wouldn't say it again because I know what's going to happen.
Hello.
Right.
So how did you? So did you? You guys already know each other?
I'm gonna tell it. So I'm gonna tell it. First time I saw Brooke was at a jam session in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. It might have been either Cat's Cafe or there was a joint you were doing with Ryan Kilgore.
Okay.
I forget the name of that venue, but he's an amazing saxophonist as well. But it was just something different about Brooke, like her energy, her musical prowess, navigating with that violin, and I was like, "Yo, I was at least what was that?"
You were kind of echoing there. Let's go ahead and continue. See if we
okay, I'm echoing.
No, not now.
Okay. But yeah, like I said, to keep it short, met Brooke at a jam session, and she was just killing that night. So that was one of the maybe first 5 people I met musically in Atlanta. And I was like, okay, this is Atlanta. All right, let's go. I like this.
Absolutely. And to piggyback off of Trey, it's funny because I actually saw you intentionally for the first time at Sweet Auburn Seafood back in the day. And you were walking around doing your Trey thing. I was like, this brother is dope, right? And I was like, but I know him already. I don't think we had an official, like we had the exchange of, hey, what's up? But an official conversation yet. And so you were just getting some things out at that time and it was fresh. And so
young TV.
It was the earlier days for us. And so I just remember that. And we I caught his eye and then he was like, okay, cool. And then we kind of exchanged and he was like, I already know who you are. You went to Florida State and I went to Florida State. And I was like, oh crap, I'm sorry. My bad, blame it on my head, not my heart. So yeah, we just always connected. Really, It was just a really special connection. Mm-hmm.
No doubt.
Yeah.
So did you also, Trey, started playing in the church or?
So technically I started playing in the 6th grade in middle school, but simultaneously at that time, I played my first solo at church. And I think my mom still has that recording. I was squeaking every other note, but the church people, they're going to clap.
Oh, yeah.
No matter what. You sounded good.
Yeah.
And my grandfather is still the pastor there. So New Friendship Missionary Baptist Church back in Tampa. But yeah, that was where I kind of found my voice, my confidence, and found that soul in music. So,
Yeah, and another thing I was reading an article or maybe watching a program about hip hop, and some of the it was East Coast, and some of these guys, the hip hop artists, were saying the reason why they started with the albums, and the turntables is because the music programs were taken out of the schools. I guess they're talking around what 80s or something like 80s or something like that. And I didn't realize that, you know, that some of the music programs were, being taken out of schools, and so and if you have those that families may not be able to provide, instruments and lessons, and schools and churches, that could be a place for you to, what do you call it? Some of those uh, talents that maybe people did not know you had.
right.
They could, and just like when you started, start and that inspiration from, the members at the church, that sometimes yeah, you are squeaking, but you clapping and stuff. That could be inspiration to keep you rather than going to what's that Live at the Apollo,
Yeah.
Yeah, you see how that guy come out there with the and pull you off the stage.
Boom. Yeah, you don't want that.
Yeah. But I'm just saying it could, I could enhance your, your desire and to keep and going for perfection,
Or it can say you need to practice a little bit more.
That.
So I guess inversely, it just depends on how you react to it,
Yeah.
Right.
So did now since me and Mr. Walker, I didn't realize that we at the Learning Center. Well, I tutored there also, so I have been knowing Mr. Walker for quite a, for some time through the Learning Center until one of the volunteers there said, "Well, you went to Purcell because you knew my sister. You should know Mr. Walker." So I look in the yearbook and I said, "Oh, I know George. I remember talking to him, because he was a couple of years older than me, but we still talked." And after I saw his picture, I was like, "So all this time I didn't know," and I knew his brother used to come over to my house, So sometimes this in Kansas City here, it's a small world, but when I started, probably around high school age, listening to Grover Washington and Freddie Hubbard, and actually, what kind of inspired me that about jazz artists who happen to be women was Bobby Humphrey, because I remember Joyce Cooling had a song, and it was like "That Girl Can Play," and in the song she had said they expected her, being a woman, to get up and sing, but she can sing, but she also plays the guitar. And so when I started my show, and I've only been DJing for maybe on the radio for maybe, I didn't start to 61, and I didn't really have any, inspiration to really do it. I don't know. I just started working with a radio show, and uh, from my older brother, that's where I got the influence from jazz and different types of music, rock. Because in the '70s, there were all kind of different um, uh, genres of music, with the Jimi Hendrix and so uh, that kind of inspired me. And I remembered that uh, when I did my show, I wanted to go around the world, looking and see different artists from different areas, different instruments, and especially the saxophones. I mean, when I was telling a guy about a guitar player, he said, "Man, I like saxes," and I know that sax is probably the most popular, but I wanted to include all different kind of instruments.
And I guess that's the thing about,
especially women,
right?
Jazz, or not only vocals, but yeah.
The cool part about what Brooke and I are doing, just creating something that people aren't used to. And Brooke, if you want to speak more on that, you know, just sax and strings, like how did you come up with, you know, the concept behind it? Because you told me about it and I was on game for it. So, you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I'm just one of the types of people, if I have this idea and I envision a particular person being a part of that idea, then I'm already signing them up, whether I even ask them or not. Like, hey, I need you to be a part of this vision. And Trey was the first one to come to mind for sax and violin for this particular just creation that I had in my mind that I wanted to manifest for the people. And again, you know, it's been a tough year for all of us in some way, shape, or form, some way more than others, but in some way we've all been impacted to the point of feeling it, just feeling it. And so with sax therapy and with Brooke Alford, the artist of the violin, coming together to just create good energy because we already have our energies individually. And I said, how explosive it would be to collide those energy and combine like Captain Planet, you know, come together, the elements, you know, and create this really inspiring show. And I'm already on the show right now. Like my mind is already on stage with Trey and we're doing our thing, but it's going to be a virtual show on December the 17th to experience all of this. And starting at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. And we are just excited. Sax and Strings Holiday.eventbrite.com. That's where the tickets are. Sax and Strings Holiday on Eventbrite. And yeah, we all need some sax therapy and some violin sounds. We all need them to help us on this journey of just coming to ourselves and healing. So
it's good.
So do you guys have any other siblings that are musically inclined? Because I can't play, I can't sing, I can't read music, and so people say, "Oh, you do your show." I said, "Man, I just listen to it." And I guess from listening to so many great jazz musicians as yourselves, you know. Okay.
I think either you're a musician or a music lover. So I got a lot of music lovers in my family. I'm actually teaching my dad how to play saxophone. So he started 3 years ago. So, working with him, but everybody else kind of just sings, you know, in a choir and just kind of, you know.
And what sax? Well, you know, you have an alto, soprano, and you know.
So what do you? I play all three, but I'm primarily an alto saxophonist. But
and so, what's the difference for our listeners? For those that you know,
it's almost like if you're in a choir and you have different parts of the choir. You got sopranos, your altos, your tenors, baritones. So it's different voicings, right? For the instrument. So soprano, the voice is higher than an alto. The alto is higher than a tenor. And the tenor is higher than a baritone.
Now I noticed that another instrument I had start playing through the influence of Bobby Humphrey was a lot of the flutists and flautists, you know. And so I'm finding out that a lot of sax players also play
I play a little bit.
Yeah, see, and so matter of fact, I always have trouble pronouncing Jeff Kashiwa or Kashiwa. You familiar?
I'm sure how to pronounce that.
You know, yeah, but he part of the sax pack, you know, with Kim Water. But I caught him one time. I was like, oh, so he plays the flute also, you know. So, you said you play piano and violin. You play any other string? Did you play any other string instruments?
I think that's a handful in itself. Honestly, if you're as I mentioned earlier, yes, I started on piano, and then the violin found me very creatively by tapping me on the shoulder many times until it eventually just shoved me. And I said, okay, yes, this is what I need to be doing, playing the violin. Because I wasn't looking for violin, she was looking for me. And so basically, Yes, and I also started in church as far as some of my earlier performances. I did want to mention that. And I loved playing at church at the time. But I do have a musical family, if you want to say. My sister is a professional clarinetist. We both started on piano with my mother. And so my sister went on to pursue her master's in clarinet performance at Indiana. And then she is now a music educator. She teaches general music K-5 in Fulton County. And my brother, he also played horn. He plays the French horn. He played in college.
Oh, okay.
And so his actual profession, he works close with me in the business. But his major was business administration, and he got his master's in public administration. So he assists quite a bit, and we collaborate, and he also assists in my artistry and business. And so yes, violin, piano, and singing have been involved in my musical life all my life, pretty much, it feels. And I like to incorporate a little bit of each, whenever I can. But of course, violin is the star of my show. And as an artist of the violin, it's just all about being the being first, the artist first, and then whatever I touch is going to be of my artistry, whether it's playing the violin, it's singing, it's dancing, it's an expression of a larger part, which is me, the artist. And as a person who has passion, I don't think a person who, plays something passionately, I don't think it's just that one thing that they're playing passionately. They're just a passionate person. And so for me, I'm a passionate person, and it is delivered and channeled through anything, that I put my energy and focus in. And because I care. That's the thing. I care. And I care about people, and I care about people's lives and souls. And so I just want to always do my best anytime I have an opportunity to express my artistry. So
yeah, and I also see I'm spinning some of your Christmas holiday selections.
Yeah. Yes, it was a fun CD to make with Bob Baldwin. My Christmas, and we get to share a lot of those selections on our show on December the 17th. And I can't wait to play with Trey. Like, Trey, I am only expressing 10% of my enthusiasm right now on the camera. The 90% is inside doing all kinds of dances and going all kinds of directions. But this is a highlight. I am so excited.
Okay, so I don't know if Mr. Walker's still, I don't see him vision on it, but is there, before we end this and let you guys get to your busy schedules, is there any other thing you would like to discuss or talk about, or any news or great things happening or coming up, coming events?
The biggest thing I want to talk about is December 17th. Like, it's going down. And okay. It's almost like it's a collaborative versus, right? And this is how I'm going to put this. It's not against, it's with. We're working together to create something that we've never created before. So y'all listening, KUAW, please check out Brooke's music, like support her, purchase it, stream it, do the same for mine as we lead up to the 17th. So, we appreciate all of the radio stations for spinning our stuff, but, please tell a friend to support our music. And I just can't wait to party on the 17th, like with Brooke. So.
And another thing is it appears that when smooth jazz artists, when just like you did the Can We Talk? Well, I heard, I'm 67, be 67 here, and so I remember who what's his name? Kevin Campbell. Yeah, Kevin. Yeah, but I want to check this out to see. And so when I heard it, I was like, man, you know what? And so little things that you put your own influence into it, and man, it just sounds totally different. It sounds a little different, but
Right.
man,
It takes
I'm
homage
like,
to
man, you heard this song, you heard other people do it, but man, listen to this one, oh man.
and
So
huge
I
shout out
already
to Paul
told Trey
Anderson.
that.
Paul
I
Anderson.
yeah,
told
so I just
Trey.
noticed that as soon as I said, oh man, this is tight. And so I said, man, that's what I like about jazz artists. I mean, you in Christmas selections, I've listened to, I mean, how many Christmas selections are there? 40, 50 or something. But each time you hear a different jazz, they put their little flavor on it, and man, it is
But that's
totally.
the cool part about learning Brooks Christmas music. Like it's
Oh
everything.
yeah, that's what I'm talking
Oh,
about. Yeah, listen to Brooks. It's
you
just,
know,
man, and you
I only
think,
have one
well,
single in my Christmas joint though. I just have This Christmas, Trey Daniels with Paul Anderson.
okay, I'm gonna
Definitely.
check that out because I haven't had an opportunity to, look at that. So, all righty. So, Mr. Walker.
Into because we want this to be something so special. And we have a special surprise guest joining us. We have not officially announced them, but they recently were nominated for a Grammy. And so we're really excited to have them joining us on this show. And it's just going to be even more fire on December the 17th. I'll Be Home for the Holidays, Sax and Strings edition, featuring myself, Brooke Alford, the artist of the violin, and international saxophonist Trey Daniels. And tickets are available right now. So you can view anywhere where in the world at 7:30 Eastern Standard Time. It's eventbrite.com. Go to eventbrite.com and just type in sax and strings, and we will pop up, both of us, on the flyer. And you can get your tickets, and we would love your support. We would love to give you good energy. This is all for y'all. This is not even about us. This is about us coming together to give during this time. So please join us. And our music is available online too. It's pretty easy to find. If you just go to Google, if you just want to type in Brooke Alford or Trey Daniels, that's easy. We have our websites too. That you can also visit. Brooke Alford Violin, and then we have Trey Daniels Music.com. So go ahead, support us. We love what we do, and we want to keep doing it. So reciprocity, that's what it's all about. Reciprocity. Yes.
So, okay, again, I want to thank you guys, and I finally get to see your faces and talk to you. But I love those, and so what I do on KUAW, those drops you send me, I play them right before your selections, and I did it for the audience to kind of get to hear your voice, because we don't have a lot of jazz artists come here like some places they always have venues, and so people get familiar with the artists. So that was one way, but I also enjoy hearing you guys voices too, because I said, "Oh, I got another drop," and I'm like, "Oh, I got to hear how they talk." And so I was like, "Man, I need to." And so someone when they say smooth jazz, Professor Smooth, I said, "Man, I need to learn how to." I know I have to. I always try to be myself, but I was like, "Man, I wish I could do it like that."
Yeah, that's always a pleasure. Always a pleasure. And yes, KUAW family, grateful for the love, and especially you, Ricky, showing a lot of love through like all of my CDs. Like you play a little bit of something from all of them. So I appreciate it.
Okay. All righty. So turn over to you, Mr. Walker. He's on mute now. Okay, so I guess Mr. Walker wants me to go ahead and end this. So you guys can always put on my email. And Trey, if you don't, just get my email from Brooke there, you know.
Yep.
But I always say, hey, stay safe as possible.
Likewise.
You know, and prayers for you guys also, you know, because hey, I don't you know, I mean, I know some people look optimistic, but you know, even though you know, I work for after school program school, and you know, right now I'm doing Zoom on with the Learning Center, so I'm still learning, you know, but you know, just prayers, because man, you know, we got to do a lot of changing from what it used to be.
Absolutely. Agreed. So change for the better and for the best. The best.
Yeah. You know, and so, you know, I heard a guy say, man, I don't like wearing these masks, but if it's gonna, you know, help save other people, you know, lives and, you know, mine, hey, that's nothing, you know, I can wear a mask, you know, I mean, it doesn't bother me that much. So you guys stay safe, and prayers for you all. Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you, Mr. Walker. Thank you, Ricky. Thank you, Trey.
Bye-bye.